Hello, my name is Michael Spaeth, and I am the current planning principal planner for the town of Oro Valley and host of this informational community outreach video. Thank you for tuning in to the very first step in this extended public outreach process. This process has been kicked off in response to a property owner's application for a rezoning and development plan on an approximately 7-acre property located on Vistoso Highlands Drive at the old golf club at Vistoso clubhouse site. Our goal is to ensure everyone is provided with information regarding upcoming public outreach opportunities, the applicant's proposal, and the next steps. The number one objective is to invite you to participate. The town requires all rezoning and development plan applicants to engage in community outreach at the front end of the process, as it is important to hear your comments, questions, and concerns early in the project. Does your participation matter? Absolutely. Community input has shaped every rezoning and development plan application in Oro Valley. Please help us spread the word about this proposal and video. Notices have been mailed to neighbors and the site has been posted with yellow signs in multiple locations. If you weren't notified and wish to be in the future, please send us a request with your name and address to mspaeth@orovalleyaz.gov. This video is the first step in the process and is intended to help prepare you for the upcoming neighborhood meeting. Later in this video, we will map out what that anticipated project timeline will look like. It is also important to establish that this request is to primarily develop private property, but does include a request to develop some elements on public property. This is not the town's proposal, it is the property owners. It is their charge to create, justify, and seek town council approval of their request. All property owners have the right to request review of their development proposal. When the town receives a development application, we are required to provide due process. As of today, April 28th, we do not have a formal submittal from the property owner, but we do anticipate one from the applicant soon. A pre-application concept for the site plan has been provided, and you will hear more about that directly from the property owner's representative, Ms. Linda Morales, later in the video. Here are the steps we're going to follow. First, I will walk through the public participation process and the anticipated timeline for the project. Second, I will briefly discuss the applicant's proposal and provide key background information about the property and the town's review criteria. Third, I will introduce Ms. Morales, who is representing the property owner. She will walk us all through the what and why of the property owner site proposal. And lastly, I will finish with a summary of next steps in the process. Additional information has been posted on ovprojects.com and will continually be updated as the town receives a formal application and other additional information. So let's get started. A neighborhood meeting will be held on May 15th at 6 p.m. in the town's council chambers at Town Hall. You can participate in the meeting either in person or online via Zoom. Please visit ovprojects.com for instructions on how to participate online. The purpose of the meeting will be to have the applicant introduce their project, hear from you, and address any questions, comments, or concerns you may have. You can always provide those via email at any point during the project by sending them to mspaeth@orovalleyaz.gov. Throughout this process, there are a number of additional opportunities for public input. Following a formal submittal, staff will work with the applicant on achieving code compliance. Following code compliance, a second neighborhood meeting will be held before scheduling the case for public hearing. Additional neighborhood meetings may be required as necessary. The applications require consideration by the Planning and Zoning Commission at a public hearing. After receiving public testimony, they will vote to provide a formal recommendation to town council. The project will then require consideration by town council. After receiving community testimony, town council may vote to approve, deny, or continue the application. Now I'd like to orient everyone with respect to the subject property. The site is approximately 7 acres in size and is located on Vistoso Highlands Drive, approximately 1/2 mile west of Rancho Vistoso Boulevard, the site of the old golf club at Vistoso clubhouse, outlined in yellow. As you can see, it is immediately adjacent to the Vistoso Trails Nature Preserve, outlined by the white dashed line. The applicant's request involves two applications. First, a rezoning from natural open space to recreational open space, for the area outlined in blue. And second, a development plan for the entire project. The purpose of these applications is to enable development of 132 one- and two-story multifamily residential units, a pool with clubhouse, and 2 access points off Vistoso Highlands Drive. The design also includes trailhead parking for the adjacent Vistoso Trails Nature Preserve outlined in yellow. Please note the design also includes some associated parking and drainage facilities located on the Vistoso Trails Nature Preserve, shown in black. Again, the applicant is going to provide additional detail during her presentation. The property is located in the Rancho Vistoso Planned Area Development, or PAD. This area was adopted in 1987 and encompasses over 7,200 acres, as shown in the right-hand image on the screen. This document established the zoning and corresponding development standards for all property located within its boundaries, this site included. That approval enabled multifamily residential as a permitted use on this site, with a maximum building height of 34 feet or 3 stories. The site was first developed as part of the golf club at Vistoso in 1994, and was more recently part of the deal establishing the Vistoso Trails Nature Preserve last year. As part of that deal, there was a development agreement that limited the number of units to 132, restricted the building height to no more than 2 stories, and included an easement to allow some of the associated parking and drainage facilities to be developed on the preserved property. Again, Ms. Morales will have more detail on her plan. Review of the applicant's proposal will include a number of elements, including conformance with the draft Vistoso Trails Master Plan, as well as the development agreement between the Conservation Fund, the property owner, and the town. Staff will be working directly with the Conservation Fund during this process and will continue to do so throughout the life of the project. The review also includes general plan conformance, specifically compatibility with the surrounding area, as well as compliance with all Rancho Vistoso PAD and zoning code standards and requirements, including cultural resource requirements and any applicable design principles and design standards. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Ms. Morales for her presentation.
Hi, my name is Linda Morales, and I'm with the Planning Center, a Tucson-based land planning and landscape architecture consulting firm. We are assisting OV 132 LLC in this proposed amendment to the Rancho Vistoso Planned Area Development and the associated development plan. The rezoning area is part of a larger project that includes the former location of the Rancho Vistoso Golf Course Clubhouse and Maintenance Facility, which local developer Ross Rolney purchased. The purchase was instrumental in allowing the Conservation Fund to acquire the Rancho Vistoso Golf Course on behalf of the town, which led to the creation of the Vistoso Trails Nature Preserve. This property was already designated high-density residential by the Rancho Vistoso PAD. In keeping with that designation, Mr. Rolney intends to develop the site for an apartment community. After this purchase, Mr. Rolney had the opportunity to buy a small sliver of privately held land immediately to the west. This parcel is currently designated by the PAD as open space. To add this parcel to the development, it needs to have its land use designation amended. Recognizing that this parcel represents a transition from the high-density residential to the nature preserve, the project team designed the apartment community layout to place the community clubhouse, pool, and guest parking on this parcel. That allows the project to proceed under the general plan recommendation of recreation open space and creates a transition to the preserve. Our rezoning request is from the Rancho Vistoso PAD open space designation, as you see in light green, and we'll be changing that, or proposing to change that to the Rancho Vistoso PAD open space recreation designation, which you see in the darker green. The overall multifamily development proposes 7 two-story buildings for a total of 132 one- and two-bedroom apartments. It is not proposed to be gated, with 2 driveways along Vistoso Highlands Drive. Tenant parking is provided throughout the project. The darker gray spaces on the plan are the covered spaces. A landscape border will be installed along Vistoso Highlands Drive. The target market for this apartment will be similar to that of the Vistoso Golf Casita communities. So the amenities accordingly will be geared toward an active adult lifestyle. Here you see the location of the clubhouse and the pool with the guest and clubhouse parking in front. Again, this is the area that is requested to be amended in the PAD. And as Mr. Spaeth mentioned, part of the sale agreement between the town and Mr. Rolney included the allowance to use approximately 1.5 acres of adjacent land for uses to support the proposed apartment community. Therefore, we propose a tenant parking lot just south of the parcel, as well as an area for drainage basins. And that would go on the land that's currently held by the Conservation Fund. As you can see on the drawing, the drainage area will be revegetated to have a natural appearance. The basin will be very shallow and was designed around a rock cropping that will be preserved in place. But the idea is to make it blend and look more natural. This area used to be the golf course fairway, so it was already disturbed and has little native vegetation on it now. The existing pathway that runs just along the south boundary of the site will be located further to the south. That's the trail pathway that's labeled new sidewalk. So this development will contribute to the Vistoso Trails Nature Preserve by providing a new public parking area and trailhead directly west of the project. The parking lot's proposed to have 30 parking spaces and will provide direct access to the trail system. The parking area will access off of Vistoso Highlands Drive and will have a secondary connection to the apartment community. There will be trail connections to the existing pathways in the preserve, and a sidewalk will create a pedestrian connection from the sidewalk along Vistoso Highlands to the trail. In summary, the proposed apartment community is currently allowed by the Rancho Vistoso PAD. The proposed minor amendment to the Rancho Vistoso planned area development is again only for the additional 0.69 acre parcel, the parcel you see outlined in yellow, and will allow recreation amenities and associated parking for the apartment community. The proposed designation of open space recreation is consistent with the general plan. The overall project will benefit the Vistoso Trails Nature Preserve by providing a new parking area and trailhead. Mr. Rolney is thrilled that this real estate transaction has helped to make the Vistoso Trails Nature Preserve a reality and is excited to present this new housing opportunity to the Vistoso community.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Morales. I would like to conclude by reiterating how to make your voice heard over the course of this process. The town invites you to attend the neighborhood meeting on May 15th at Town Hall or online. Again, this is just the first step of the public participation process. Additional information has been posted on ovprojects.com and will be continually updated as the town receives the formal application and other additional information. Please use mspaeth at oralvalleyaz.gov and ovprojects.com throughout this process to stay informed. We will continue to notify property owners who received a yellow postcard for this meeting and post the property with yellow signs for upcoming events. If you did not receive a postcard and wish to, please reach out to mspaeth at oralvalleyaz.gov and provide your name and address, and we will ensure that you are notified next time. Again, I would like to reiterate it is important to hear your comments, questions, and concerns early in the process. The extent of community participation is what makes Oro Valley a special place. Community input has shaped every rezoning and development plan application in Oro Valley, just as it will on this project. Stay in the know by checking into ovprojects.com, and we look forward to you joining us at the neighborhood meeting on May 15th. Thank you.